One step forward for the Jays, 2 steps back. The Jays' weekend series against the LA Angels started brightly. Dylan Cease was dominant on Friday. Addison Barger returned to the lineup on Saturday and had an immediate impact. But the good vibes would not last long, because on Sunday, we got a return of more of what we've seen this year: injuries and inconsistent pitching. Barger was pulled from Sunday's game, and Eric Lauer was poor from the jump again. So today, we're going to talk about 2 big themes coming out of the Jays series win over the Angels. First, we're going to talk about Addison Barger's immediate impact on Saturday, as well as his removal from the game on Sunday, and what this means for the Jays' slugging. Secondly, we're going to talk about the pitching conundrum that we're seeing with this team. The top of the rotation is getting it done, but the number 5 spot is a big concern because Eric Lauer has become borderline unplayable. This is the Morning Whistle. My name is Aaron Earl. So the Jays won 2 of 3 against the Angels over the weekend at Rogers Center. Friday, dominant start by Dylan Cease, who helped the Jays win a tight 2-0 victory. On Saturday, the bats came alive in the 5th inning, and the Jays won 14-1. But Sunday, the Jays bats had no answer for Jose Soriano, the Angels' best pitcher, and we dropped a 6-1 loss. The big story of the weekend for me was Addison Barger. Barger made his long-awaited return to the Jays lineup on Saturday, and boy, did he have an immediate impact. Not with his bat, but with his arm. In the top of the second, with a runner on third, Barger caught a fly ball and threw a 101-mile-an-hour cannon to home plate to tag the runner and end the inning. It was a truly unbelievable throw, and it was a reminder of what we've been missing in the outfield this season: raw power. And while Barger didn't get a hit in this game, he drew 2 walks and scored. And it looked like he was going to inject this Jays batting rotation with some much-needed slug, power, and confidence. But unfortunately, on Sunday, when Barger was scheduled to hit leadoff, he was pulled shortly before the game began due to right elbow soreness. You have to wonder whether that cannon he threw on Saturday impacted his arm. Because after Sunday's match, Schneider revealed Barger had gone for an MRI after waking up with limited movement in his right arm. And his status is now unknown. Just when things look better, it gets worse. And it's really hard to, I think it's really hard to appreciate how frustrated John Schneider must feel right now. He's been navigating both shorthanded starting rotation, he's been navigating a short banding lineup, and while injuries are always part of the game, it's been a steady stream of significant pieces either getting hurt or now getting re-hurt. And the biggest reason Barger getting hurt again is a big problem is we just haven't gotten a lot of slug from our existing lineup. Unless your name is Okamoto. Because Vladdy's struggling to get extra base hits right now, Varsho's been inconsistent, and the Jays haven't been able to get much from Lenin Sosa or Jesus Sanchez. So it really feels right now like the Jays lineup is a little bit tight. And unfortunately, with George Springer not 100% and really battling, with Kirk still a ways away, and with Barger's status unknown, the existing lineup, the guys who are healthy, are going to have to step up. And first among them is Vladdy. And I feel we're finally at the point where eyes need to go to Vladdy. I've long defended him when his power disappears because he can often impact the game in other ways, drawing walks, getting base hits, and he doesn't strike out. But while he is still batting over 300, his batting average has fallen significantly to start May. He started the month hitting 355, and now he's down to like 308. And the stat for me that really sums up Vladdy's lack of power is this. He has 2 home runs this year. Brandon Valenzuela has 2 home runs hitting left-handed, and he has 2 home runs hitting right-handed. when your backup rookie catcher switch hitting catcher has more home runs each side than your best player, there's a problem. So if the Jays are going to turn this around, superstars are going to need to be superstars. And Vladdy just being good is not going to cut it. The second big story of the weekend for me was the starting pitching. The top half of our rotation is fire. And the bottom two spots, well, there are a lot of questions. Dylan Cease has just found a gear. And wow, he is unstoppable right now. He has been pretty unhittable all season. But after a stretch of starts where he couldn't make it past 5 innings, Cease challenged himself to go deeper in games, especially because the back half of our rotation has been light to save up arms. And on Friday, he was unbelievable. Second start in a row pitching 7 innings. He struck out 10, only 5 hits, no walks, no earned runs. And the thing with Cease that I love is you can already see significant improvement in his game since joining the Jays. He's added the sweeper that's been used to get some swing and miss, and his changeup, which he really threw last year, is being thrown a lot more. And that gives him 6 pitches in his arsenal. For a guy who previously was just solely fastball slider, the extra diversity is going to allow him to go late. And of course, that fastball, I mean, he gets the power and he locates it so well. I really think if he can keep this up, he will be in the Cy Young race alongside a Soriano. That's how good he can be. Trey Savage, he's been far from effortless. He pitched 4 innings on Saturday. But the thing I'm seeing with this guy, he has the it factor. And when I look at Savage's performances so far this year, he's pitched 13 innings in 3 starts, which is not a great inning count, but he's only given up 1 earned run. And you're starting to see something with him. He finds ways to get outs. He's at times not had the command on his slider or the splitter, and then he just goes to the fastball. When the fastball is going high, he'll go to the splitter. When he's not getting strikeouts, he'll find ways to get ground balls. He just finds ways to get outs and get this team out of trouble. And I really like the fact that he is limiting hard contact right now. So, with that, you look at those 2 plus Gausman, 1-3, great. I'm really confident. Then we have Eric Lauer. And it's a problem now, guys. Spencer Miles opened on Saturday, but it was not the standard 1 inning before turning it over to Lauer for bulk relief. Miles went the first 3 innings of the game and was fantastic, giving up only 2 hits. Tommy Nance came in the 4th, got 3 up, 3 down, and then it was Lauer in the 5th inning. And here's what he did. We were up 1-0 when he came into the game, and he instantly gave up 4 runs. He walked the first batter he faced, then falls behind in the count to the next batter, and then throws a cutter right down the middle, gives up a home run. Gives up 2 more runs in that same inning, and then gives up 2 home runs later in the game. So now Lauer finds himself in Brandon Little territory. John Schneider has tried to protect him. He's tried to insulate him and put him in more optimal situations, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's just getting blown up right now. His ERA is up to 6.69 for the season, and he's given up 11 home runs in 36 innings. I don't believe that Eric Lauer can start another game for this team. And when I say start, I also mean play any sort of bulk role. You know, even with the injuries, his games are becoming automatic losses. And so we look at what can this team do? Spencer Miles, again, went 3 innings today. He was a starter in college. And he looks like a guy who can potentially be stretched a little more. We also know that Yariel Rodriguez is apparently headed to Toronto. Sounds like he'll be called up. We don't know who that's for. But if Eric Lauer was DFA'd, he would have no real case to complain. Why I'm questionable on that, though, is we just don't have the bodies. We found out the news that Jose Barrios stopped throwing because of arm discomfort and is going to see a specialist in Texas. And Max Scherzer has still yet to resume throwing after taking a cortisone shot. So with those two guys likely out for the rest of this month, if not even further, then you do have to wonder what Schneider can do in that final spot. Is it feasible to go with Spencer Miles? Do we have to do some bullpen games? Do we have to have Lauer continuing to come in this, bulk relief role? The truth is there is no good answer. And right now, if Patrick Corbin, something happens to him, we're screwed. So it's a big, big concern. And God forbid anything happens to one of our other pitchers. So where does this leave the Jays? Well, the team is now 18-22. We're 4 games below 500 and 8.5 games off the AL East lead, which is now held by the surging Tampa Bay Rays, who we play this week. The good news, though, critically, is that we're only 1 game outside of a wildcard spot. And that's because the middle of the American League is crowded. And so the Jays just need to keep their focus on one thing: win series. If you can get 2 out of 3 a majority of the time, that puts the team in a really good spot. And with that, we need to make sure that when we get good pitching performances, like we did on Friday with Cease and Saturday with the whole team, we need to find the runs in those games. And this week against the Rays, we have our 2 best pitchers, Gausman and Cease, on the mound on Monday and Wednesday. The Rays do have 2 of their best pitchers, Drew Rasmussen on Monday and Shane McClanahan on Tuesday. But we got to find a way to get 2 of 3, specifically when Gausman and Cease are on the mound. Now, given how active the Rays are on the bases, it would be a real blow if Addison Barger does have to miss some time. We know that the Rays like to run, and his arm is a cannon. But even if he is able to play, or even if he's out, the way we have to win this series is by guys like Vladdy and Varsho, but specifically Vladdy, stepping up and hitting some balls over the fence. It gets momentum in a game, and that's what we need right now. Big week coming up. Let's see what they can do.